Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. I'm so glad to have you with me today as we study here Psalm 39 this week. All this week, we're going to be looking at Psalm 39. And this is another beautiful psalm. This is about praying and not speaking. So we'll talk about that this week. And we have an interesting introduction to this psalm. In the introduction, we have this: of the choir master for Jeduthun, a psalm of David. So we understand the choir master. We've had him plenty of times before now, but Jeduthun is a first time for us. I think I don't remember it being prior to this, but so we'll say that Jeduthun is one of the choir founders, we could say. So if you go back to 1 Chronicles chapter 15, when David brings in the ark, excuse me, to the city of Jerusalem, he brings it in and he appoints choirs to sing, and they have cymbals and they have trumpets and a large choir of voices, and the men that lead those choirs are Heman and Jeduthun. He's one of the leaders of the choir. He's also thought to be the same as Ethan, and you'll see Ethan's name in 1 Chronicles 15, and Jeduthun's name in 2 Chronicles chapter 5. So I'll put both of those references on the screen here so that you can see them. You go back and you look at those and you realize how important this music was for the worship of the Lord. And they brought these in, and in Solomon's day, when he built the temple, one of the Jeduthun choirs was there and was singing, and that's when the glory of the Lord fell on the temple. It was while they were singing and praising the Lord with cymbals and trumpets and with their voices. So Jeduthun is the leader of one of those choirs, and maybe it could be that this is just for that choir, for the choir master, or of the choir master for Jeduthun. So maybe it's for that choir, a psalm of David. So then we're going to read today verses 1, 2, and 3. So if you have your Bible there, open it up and we'll commence to reading. I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle, while the wicked is before me. I was dumb with silence. I held my peace, even from good, and my sorrow was stirred. My heart was hot within me. While I was musing, the fire burned. Then I spake with my tongue. Okay, so he's getting ready to speak. That's the end of 3. And just to look ahead, the very beginning of verse 4 continues the sentence, and he's praying, Lord, make me to know my end. Okay, so let's go back and look at these 3 verses. I will take heed to my ways. I will not sin with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle while the wicked is before me. So we understand what a bridle is. We get that, right? We use that on horses to control them. So he wants to control his mouth. And notice it's his tongue, his mouth, his lips. All these are mentioned. He wants to control it because he doesn't want to say anything untoward. He doesn't want to say something that is out of place, that will be a bad witness, that will harm, because words, ladies and gentlemen, words are the weapon that David deals with in the Psalms are the words. So he didn't want to be that way. He wants to keep his mouth. So he says, I keep my mouth a bridle while the wicked is before me. I was dumb with silence. I held my peace, even from good. So he didn't say anything. The old expression where you pull your fingers across your lips like a zipper. That was it. Not going to say a word. My sorrow was stirred. My heart was hot within me. I was musing. The fire burned. While I was musing, the fire burned. Now, what we have here is an illustration of a fire. When I was a young man and I pastored a church way out in the country in rural Kentucky, and we had a fireplace. and it was a stove. It was a standalone stove in our living room. And in the morning, in the wintertime, I would go in and stir the coals because I had banked the fire the night before. And so I'd open the door up, turn on all the vents. They would open up, and I would take a poker and I would stir what was left. And there were hot coals in the bottom of that thing. And then I would lay wood on top of those hot coals. Never have to put anything else in there. And then in just a few minutes, 5-10 minutes, it was a fire. And because I had stirred those coals and they had contacted that oxygen again, they were now hot and were able to burn, and it went from a fire to a raging fire. And so I'd have to turn down the intakes, the air intakes, so I could control the fire so it wouldn't burn out of control. But it would if I had let it go. And see, that's what David's saying here. My sorrow was stirred, my heart was hot within me. While I was musing, the fire burned. So he's stirring up those fires within him, but he's not saying anything. And so when he's not saying anything and the fire is raging, what's going to happen? Well, he's going to do something, isn't he? Notice what he says there at the end of 3. Then spake I with my tongue. Oops. Now he said that he wasn't going to speak, wasn't going to say anything, good or bad. Nothing, while the wicked is before him. But now he speaks, but he's not talking to the wicked. We're going to find out tomorrow who he's talking to and what his subject is. So I hope you'll join me then here on Daily Dose Radio.